Welcome to some quick pointers on how to deal with metric conversions. Um, doing metric conversions is really just moving decimals. It's multiplying and dividing by hundreds and thousands and tens, which means we'll have the same digits and we'll just end up moving a decimal place. However, if we're struggling with doing that, there's a few basic things that we can lean on to help. So first off, we should always know that I've written these as kilometers, meters, centimeters, but it's the prefix that matters. This could just easily be kilograms, grams, liters, centiliters, liters, milliliters. So it's the prefix part that is really defining the relationship. And the other is just the base unit. Second, you need to memorize these relationships. It doesn't matter if you do it with steps or with some other way of moving decimals or so on. I encourage you to do whatever works for you, but you need to know that 1 kilometer goes with 1,000 meters, and that 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter, and 1,000 millimeters is 1 meter. The last one is kind of just nice to know, that 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter, but it's even possible to get through life without having that one memorized. Useful, but not strictly necessary. These other three, absolutely necessary. Finally, it's useful to get down the idea of big unit means small number. So in any equality and in any conversions that we do, if your starting point had the larger unit, so again, we have to know which ones are the larger, then the ending point has the large number. Big unit, small number. Small unit, big number. Centimeters are smaller than meters. Big number, small unit, big unit, small number. Again, over here, meters, much bigger than millimeters. Millimeters are the little tiny markings on your ruler. 1 meter is a meter stick. So big unit, small number, small unit, big number. And that can help us keep those in line, because then if we just remember that kilo is associated with 1,000, if we need to go to write it, we can also sort that out. Kilo versus base, kilo's bigger. Oh, kilo gets the 1 and base gets the 1,000. All right, so let's look at a couple examples where we can apply this. So I went back and changed some of these just to demonstrate a little bit of what I was talking about. Kilograms to grams, centiliters to liters. This could easily be liters to milliliters or grams to milligrams. Out of habit, I tend to work with meters because that's what we have so much in physics, but metric prefixes work for any metric unit. Okay, now let's talk about how we'd set this up. If I have 13.9 kilograms, and I am going to advise using railroad tracks to at least get started on these, because the question seems to often come down to, well, should I multiply or divide? Well, that's what railroad tracks always answers with certainty. So in order for the railroad tracks to work, though, we have to have our conversion factors memorized. I need to know that 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. I also need to know for unit cancellation that, kilograms should go down here to divide out. Kilograms, 13.9 times 1,000. Now, if you type that into your calculator, what you'll find is that our 13.9, the decimal that was right here, is just going to move 3 spaces to the right. Multiplying gets a bigger number. And again, grams as the small unit is going to get the large number, 13,900. So my decimal moves over to here. My final answer, 13,900 grams versus 13.9 kilograms. Small unit, big number. Okay, let's look at the next one. we have a very large number there, 56,789 centiliters. And I want to change that to liters. So I have centiliters on bottom, liters on top. I know that, well, is it 100 liters equals 1 centiliter, or 100 centiliters equals 1 liter? Well, if I know that centiliters is smaller, small unit, big number. 100 centiliters equals 1 liter. The centiliters divide out. 56,789 divided by 100. And you can do this with your calculator, but we would like you to go ahead and move toward just doing it by moving the decimal. We had a decimal here. Dividing means I'm going to make it smaller. And dividing by 100 with 2 zeros means I move it 2 spaces. So I get 567.89 liters. Big unit, smaller number compared with 56,000. All right. How about this guy? 24.1 meters translated into millimeters. So again, I need to know my 3 essential conversion factors. I know that 1 meter is 1,000 millimeters. Okay, 24.1 times 1,000. So the decimal that we had here, if I'm multiplying, I'm going to make the number bigger. 1, 2, 3 for our 3 zeros and 1,000. So that means I have 24,100 for my answer of millimeters. Small unit, very large number, compared with big unit, small number. Now finally, I'm going to show you down here, this would be a very easy one-step conversion, just like the ones we had above. But if you were, I just want to show that you don't actually have to have that the 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. Because if with the other 3, I can actually do this in 2 steps by converting to base. I can say 450 millimeters divided by millimeters. 1 meter equals 1,000 millimeters. Okay, I've converted it to meters. Well, one more step. Meters and centimeters. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So we can multiply by 100 and then divide by 1,000, or we can preemptively go through and know that these are going to cancel out. So if I divide by, in other words, if I divide 1,000 by 100, there's a lot of cancellation going on, and we're down to our 10. So multiple ways to get there. In the end, we should end up dividing by 10. In the end, since centimeters is the larger unit, I should end up with a smaller number. My 454, my decimal should move inward to make this into a smaller number. If I'm dividing by 10, I'm only moving it 1 space. So 454 millimeters is the same as 45.4 centimeters. Small unit, big number, bigger unit, smaller number. All right, I invite you to do some of the practice problems on Schoology, and the more you practice this, the less you'll actually need to write this part on paper, because you'll be used to just moving the decimals. And when you're comfortable with having these memorized, you'll know that, oh, I'm moving it 3 spaces, I'm moving the decimal 2 spaces, moving the decimal 3 spaces, or just 1. So, hope this helps, and happy physicsing.